Have you ever noticed how technology brought everything closer, except your mind? Today you type fast, you copy fast, you save fast, but you don't remember. Digital writing gives you speed, but handwriting gives you memory. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not as teachers, not as scientists, but as someone who finally understood a truth most people overlook. You only remember what your body participates in. When you write by hand, your fingers work, your brain organizes, your eyes follow every movement, and your whole body becomes part of the process. And when the body participates, the memory stays. But no one ever told you that. And that's why you repeat. I read it but I don't remember. I studied, but it's gone. I knew it, but I blanked out. Because you only consumed information. You didn't register it, you didn't encode it, you didn't mark it into yourself. Handwriting is marking yourself, and this is where the story begins. Imagine yourself in an empty room. Just you, a table, a sheet of paper, and a pen. No shortcuts, no copy and paste, no machine finishing your thoughts for you. Just your silence and what you truly think. In the first minutes you'll feel resistance, a restless mind, an impatient body, a heavy hand. Why? Because you're not simply writing. You're pulling thoughts out of the dark and exposing them to the light. And that is exhausting. But it's in that very exhaustion that memory is born. Because when something requires effort, the brain understands. This matters. Handwriting activates areas of the brain that simply shut down when you type. Fine motor coordination awakens, attention sharpens, comprehension deepens, and learning becomes permanent. It's as if every letter you write turns on a small light inside your mind. A connection, a wire, a path. That's why when you write, you understand. And when you type, you only pass over the surface. Maybe that's why today you feel so distracted, so anxious, so overloaded with information, because the world pushed you into a speed your brain was never built to sustain. And handwriting is a break, a ground, a moment to breathe. It gives you back time. It gives you back presence. It gives you back focus. And focus is the foundation of memory. When you write, your brain must choose each word. It must structure the sentence. It must organize the idea. That requires deep attention, and deep attention creates deep retention. That's why the great minds of history wrote by hand. That's why monks copied books word by word. That's why personal notebooks reveal more about a person than any formal document. Handwriting shows who you are, what you think, what you feel, what you prioritize, and above all, what you keep. But the benefit doesn't stop at memory. Handwriting also organizes your mind. When you write, you give shape to the chaos. You turn loose thoughts into lines. You turn anxiety into sentences. You turn confusion into clarity. It's almost therapeutic, as if each word removed a weight from your mind and placed it gently on the paper. And there is something even deeper. When you write by hand, you slow down. And when you slow down, you observe. And when you observe, you understand. And when you understand, you learn. Maybe that's why, when we feel lost, we write. We write goals, we write confessions, we write prayers, we write lists. We write the things our mind can't carry alone, because the paper can carry them. The paper keeps them. The paper gives them back. And that is memory. But there's a point very few talk about. Handwriting creates identity. Every person has their own handwriting, their own rhythm, their own strokes, their own style. Writing is revealing yourself. When you type, you look like everyone else. When you write, you are unique. And that leaves marks on the paper and on the brain. Let's go even deeper. Research shows that handwriting activates 3 essential processes: encoding, turning information into meaning; consolidation, storing it in the brain; retrieval, accessing it later. Typing only performs the first one. Handwriting performs all 3. That's why handwriting increases your ability to remember by over 40%. Not because it's romantic, but because it's human. The human brain was built to learn through movement, through touch, through physical engagement. Now imagine combining this with your goals, with your studies, with your personal growth. Imagine recording everything you learned today. Imagine summarizing a book by hand. Imagine writing your goals with real intention. Imagine reviewing your own thoughts on paper. You wouldn't only gain memory, you'd gain direction, clarity, purpose. Handwriting is not an old habit, it's an essential one. And in a world where everything is fast, digital, and disposable, writing becomes an act of presence, an act of resistance, a silent declaration, I choose to remember. So the next time you want something to truly enter your mind, don't type, don't copy, don't paste. Write. Because handwriting is not just about recording words, it's about recording your mind, your story, your evolution. And everything you write with your hand stays forever engraved in your memory and in your life.